What viewers? Hello, Gravitrons. I'm more gravity. Let's play chess. I won this game of chess about 3 or 4 minutes ago, and it proved to be a very accurate game. And then I played the game out against practice. The first time I didn't do well, and the second time, uh, all the way to checkmate, and in a way that actually the accuracy increased quite a bit. So that's interesting, and I'm going to enjoy sharing that with you all, my viewers. I had the white pieces, and I played an e pawn opening, a king's pawn opening. I've been playing a lot of queen's pawn opening, but I decided to mix it up here. And my opponent chose Fianchetto by g6, and I decided to just sort of grab the center of the board early and strongly. The classic pawn duo plus the pawn on c4 was contributing towards the sweet center by partial control of the d5 square. After d6, knight f3, and knight d7, looks like we are still within book. This has been called here modern defense. And I believe sometimes this can cross paths with or to intermingle variations with the King's Indian defense. Kings because the Fianchetto bishop is on the king's side. Indian because that's just whoever named it thought that was how it was. And defense because black is the side with the Fianchetto bishop on g7. Now pawn to h4 with starting this early pawn storm or pawn rush. I do advocate for this. Even though white's king is not castled, he's not going to castle queenside. That looks silly. Or maybe I do later on. I'll have to go back on that. But castling kingside might happen. First, we want to see how we can shake up black's ideas early, quite early with the move 5, h4. This pawn storm, if we can even call it that, is going to figure in strongly against black. So on e5, and I'm going to let that be, because after e takes d and knight takes d, then bishop takes d, and then perhaps even queen takes d, and black has to figure out a way how to prevent his rook on h8 from being captured. Right, okay, fine, but with h5, we're going to get things rolling here. Whatever black does in the center with the e5 pawn, we can react to it. So we're partly reacting here in the center, and we're going to push a pawn storm on the king's side. So my opponent played knight h6. I said, fine, I'll capture on g6. It's almost like, I think it's just a natural capture. Recaptures, I guess h takes g6, and then the knight on h6 has two defenders, and white cannot overwhelm the square with two attackers. But even then, h takes g6, and then there's maybe some checks from my light square bishop if he moves to c4, right? Or the queen at b3, or even d5. Long range speaking, f takes g6 rather. Long range speaking, f takes g6 weakens black's kingside pawn shield, and we're pretty sure this is the side to which black would best castle. So f takes g6, bishop takes h6, bishop takes h6, rook takes h6, takes advantage of that my opponent captured from the f file. So we will up a full piece rather than all this business about bishop levying a check from c4 to g8. Okay, fine, but in the case of f takes g6, black has lost a full piece. So really the move here, folks, is h takes g6. It's a more trying move, and leads to a different result. All right. Well, I guess that's it. White's up a full piece. Let's stick with it. My opponent played on and with a lot of tenacity, so we'll stick with the rest of the game to see how I was able to convert being up a piece into a win. We see here after knight g4, the best move for white is indeed to retreat all the way to h1. You might look at the square on h3 and say that's safe. Yeah, not in a good way, because maybe knight takes e5, capturing a pawn and threatening the rook with a minor piece all in one, all at one go. So instead of that, I said h1 looks safe. Here's my rook. He's on h1. He's exerting a lot of his scope and force onto the chessboard, and I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that. Bishop to e6. I'm just developing a piece. Now, finally, someone has to resolve this tension between the d6 pawn, where it was anyway, between the d6 pawn and my e5 pawn. So, e takes d6 kind of, I'm not worried now about losing material on e5, and black is happy to recapture. Here with the queen, I'm critical of this move, because queen takes d6, c takes d6, I still have the same 4 points of material stronger than black, and there's less dynamicism on the board. The queens are off. Less energy or excitement or dynamicism. C takes d6, and knight to c3, rook c8. White is looking to make a little progress on finishing development, but also solidify the position. We want a stable position, and then grind down equal value material, trades piece for piece, and have enough extra pawns to convert one or two of them into probably a queen on the promotion square. Kingside castles doesn't help black's cause, because knight to e7 check, and I'm picking up the exchange on c8, winning a full rook for my very valiant knight, who is nonetheless not as valuable as the rook that he just captured. And now we have that stable position we're talking about. b3 is one of those killer moves when you're in this game, and if you're playing as black. I don't know about everybody, but me in this position, I'm looking, okay, I can get it going here, maybe even capture a pawn, and if it costs me trading bishops, but now I have an active rook in all this. b3 is one of these Karpovian moves, or that some other chess players have played as well. You see this, like, what the heck am I gonna do? The black's pieces are on the board and all, but there's no counterplay. And that was exactly my intent when I played pawn to b3. Just completely destroy the counterplay on the board and let this now 6 points of material advantage vault me to a well-earned victory. But black plays on in a tenacious and honorable way. Knight to f6, and I played knight to g5. I wasn't expecting resignation here. I'm not to say that there's anything wrong with it, but if this was, black is playing here and with a whole lot of everything, and the whole, whatever is on the line, and here it comes. But If that's the case, then black should play on with bishop g8. I don't mean to second guess, but as far as the position and from the standpoint of this chess position, bishop to g8 holds on to at least as much as was present, with white to move here, for instance. All right, but that's fine. A respectful resignation, and like I said, a really, really accurate game. And this is an accurate game at the end of white's 19th move. So let's go to the sort of mirror match that I took over, after the resignation was here, and then black from here on was played by the computer on its hardest level, the maximum difficulty setting. And like I said, bishop g8, and the computer found this as best move as well. And I'm mostly going to just let this play, because as we can see, it's quite lengthy to something like the mid-50s in terms of moves, but might pause it a couple of times. Saving my knight from being lost by retreating to h3, and I'm just like I said, trading equal value material, so minor piece for minor piece. Pawns forward, if he captures, it's a more open board, and my rooks are strong. And here's his rook's scared away, but I'm gonna place his king in check and pick up a pawn on b7 in return. This is just very much over, and if you'll indulge me here, I'll let the replay of this practice, the replay of this game plus practice mode go all the way to finish. And rook d8 is finish. Rook d8 checkmate rather. Rook d8 checkmate is finish, and fantastic. I do this. I play many of these practice games all the way to end to have an anchor. If my knowledge of how accurate that game was, it has an anchor on all the way to checkmate, then we have a better idea of exactly what's going on in that game and overall. It's forming sort of a fuzzy logic, larger picture of my play and chess and all this wacky stuff that I think about. So rook d8 checkmate, and then I'm looking at these numbers. I'm saying, yes, this game continued accurate when played out all the way to checkmate. Thank you to my opponent, Christian Osaros. Sorry if I had anything wrong in pronouncing the name. I thought my opponent, Christian, he played a heck of a game, and neither of us have anything to hang our heads about with respect to the play quality in this particular game of chess. All right, thank you all for watching. Is it more like this or like this? I mean, thank you. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Gravitrons. I'm more gravity. Have a great night.